Hi, my name is Kristen, and welcome to Grandma K Style. On this channel, we're going to talk about everything related to makeup, skincare, and style for those of us who are mature, over 50 women who are just looking to put our best face forward as we move in to and through our 50s. If you're interested, please stay tuned for my first video. Hi everyone, I'm Kristen, and if you don't know me, this is not my normal type of video. I actually have a channel where I do training videos for Toastmasters called Toastmaster Kristen. But for about the last 3 months, I've been on an anti-aging journey. I thought that I would maybe record a video or two and throw them up and see if any of you ladies are interested in communicating with me, following me, giving me some ideas about this anti-aging journey. I decided my first video should be a get ready with me so you can see what I really look like, because I've seen a lot of channels where all of the videos are recorded with them looking beautiful, and although we're always beautiful, sometimes it's a little overwhelming and maybe intimidating to see everybody in their perfect hair and makeup. So I thought I would start with this get ready with me. A little bit about me. I am 52 years old, and anyone who knows me will tell you that skincare and makeup have not been a big part of my life. I had 2 daughters who are now grown, and I didn't have a lot of time to worry about those kind of things. If I wore makeup at all, it was a little BB cream and some mascara, possibly a tiny bit of eyeliner. I didn't do eyeshadows because I didn't know how to do them. Never wore blush in my life until recently. And if I bothered to wash my face at night, it was just with whatever Dove soap or whatever I had lying around. I also live in a very sunny climate where it is very hot and I get a lot of sun. So as I approach my 50s and now into my 50s, I noticed a lot of sun damage, a lot of wrinkles, fine lines all over the place, big pores, all of the fun things that too much exposure to the sun gives you. I also never really wore sunscreen on my face unless it happened to be in the BB cream that I was putting on my skin. So those things are starting to show up, and I've been, like I said, on a 3-month journey to try to start working on those. I will put my before and after pictures of the 3 months in the box below, and possibly if you guys are interested, over time I'll throw up some videos about exactly what I've been doing to work on my skin and keep you up to date on the before and afters to see how it goes. With that, I'm going to be recording some videos for my other channel today, and so I actually have to put on makeup and look decent. So let's work on that. I think I'm going to start today, since I am filming, I'm going to use a little bit nicer foundation than normally I would use. Normally I'll show you what I have in here. I think my go-tos lately, well, there's always my BB cream. My favorite BB cream is the Revlon. But I've also been on some other lighter, but more than BB cream lately. So I have the e.l.f. Camo. That's my, drugstore priced one. I try to keep things as low priced as possible. So even the high-end stuff that you might see, I never paid full price for it. I get it on sale. Or also, FYI, if you shop on Sephora, there's a section on Sephora where you can buy the minis and sample sizes, which is perfect if you're not sure if you're going to like something, because when you get to 52, not everything works on your skin. I've got a whole drawer full of concealers right here. Haven't yet found one that I like. So I'm reluctant to pay $40 for a concealer, although Ulta and Sephora will let you bring it back if it doesn't work. So that's a good thing. Make sure you save the boxes and the receipts if you're going to buy something and you're not sure you like it. The little bit higher end that I have going on right here is the Urban Decay. This is the Hydromaniac. A little bit about my skin. I have dry skin, large pores, fine lines, and I need things that are hydrating. A lot of the really popular foundations and things just settle into my lines and look terrible on my skin and really bring up the dry patches. That's awful. So those are kind of my go-to dailies, but what I'm going to use today, since I will be filming, is this Your Skin But Better foundation. So this is the one. It gives you a little bit more finish. I don't feel like it's a super natural finish, so I don't really wear this a lot when I'm going to be out in the sun where people are going to see my skin against the sun, but I do wear it a lot when I am filming. The other thing, probably the most expensive thing in my entire vanity, is this Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is kind of an all-use product. You can put it on under your foundation to give you a more luminous finish. You can use it as a liquid highlighter, which when you get to be my age, sometimes works better than a powder highlighter, because powder highlighters will sometimes really highlight, your skin issues. So this is actually a really good product. Had I known though that Sephora does sell this in the mini size for a lot cheaper, I probably would have bought that. I did buy the full size. Again, I got it on sale, but still it's expensive even on sale. So if you want to try this out, then you might want to go to the sample size section and buy it in a mini to see if you like it first. Also, I've heard that Milani has a really good dupe for this, but I didn't try it because I already had this. So since I am filming today, I'm going to put a tiny bit of the Flawless Filter underneath my foundation, just in a couple spots where in videos you kind of want it to look good. So mine, I have the 11s right in here. Full disclosure, I have had Botox about 3 times in my life, and the last time I had it was in October of 2020, so there's really not much left. As you can see, I can definitely move and scrunch my face, so I still do have a little bit of those 11s. So I'm going to put just a little bit of that right there, and up here along my top of my cheekbones. The other thing I've learned is that as you get older, you want to put all of your makeup higher than you did when you were younger. If you wore makeup when you were younger, which I didn't. But I mean, things like contouring, I have no idea what contouring was. I've never contoured anything in my life. I never wore bronzer. Like I said, I almost never wore blush. I mean, maybe if I was going out, I would have worn blush, but I maybe owned one color of blush. Now I have a whole bunch of them. So I know a lot of people use foundation brushes to put on their foundation. That never really works for me. I have this sponge. It's called a Stands Out sponge, and you're supposed to be able to use it without water, but I find that my foundation goes on too thick if I use it without water. So I have this little misting bottle that I got at Amazon, and I just keep it on my vanity, and it sprays like the serious lightest mist, so I just use that to get my sponge just a little bit damp, and I pat, 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 pat. I've learned as I've started this journey that the most important thing for older skin is really the blending more so than anything else. I mean, no matter what application you use, things settle and they go where you don't want them, and they're just not the same. Our skin is just not the same. So you need to do more pat, 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 and more blending, and shearing things out. And unless you have a perfect match, which is almost never possible, make sure you go down a little bit onto your neck at least, depending on what you're wearing and what's going to show. In my videos, because of the lighting, you probably won't be able to tell that much. I got a little bit up under my eye. I try not to get it too much up under my eye because just the more layers of stuff you have on your skin, it feels like the more it gets really into those lines. So if you're going to use concealer under your eye, then try not to put the foundation there too, because that's just one more layer of stuff. If you're not a concealer person and you're not going to use it, then go ahead and get that foundation up under there just to kind of even out your skin tone. All right, I think it's about as good as I can get it. All right, I like to put some lip plumper on while I'm doing my makeup because my lips have thinned out a lot since I got older. But I've noticed that if I put that on before I put on my foundation, then I don't want to get the sponge up on my lips. And then I end up with this like white line around the edges, which is kind of weird. So I started putting this on first. And then once I get that down, then I go over here and grab my plumper. What I'm using right now is the City Lips in clear. This is really good for plumping lips, and it doesn't burn or tingle like a lot of them do. It is a little bit pricey, but they have buy one, get one all the time. So get them while they're on buy one, get one. And they last forever, so I'm not too worried about spending a little bit on that. But if you have one that you like that works for you, then go ahead. I just don't like the super tingly, the burning. And it also seems like the ones that plump that way, that plump with the tingly, it goes away quickly too. As soon as that wears off, they shrink back. I think I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read what's in this one. Also, it's probably not even on here. It's probably on the box that it comes in. But I believe this has hyaluronic acid, which hyaluronic acid holds a huge amount of weight of water, so it will pull the water from inside and use that to plump up your lips. So that's a whole different thing than irritating your skin to the point that it happens to swell up. It's a total different type of plumping. So I prefer the lighter, more gentle plumping. So that's why I use the City Lips. Okay, now that we got that going on. All right, I told you that I have a drawer full of concealers and I haven't really found one that I like yet. And I'm not kidding. Seriously, a drawer full. Also, a lot of you might be big time primer users, and I do sometimes, but for some reason, the primer tends to make it slide around. So I didn't use primer today, but if you like a primer, you can use primer under. I have Milani Conceal and Perfect, which I like okay. I have the Kaja Beauty, which is okay. They're all okay. I haven't found anything awesome. If you have a holy grail and awesome concealer that works on your over 50 skin, let me know in the comments because I have not found it yet. I have the number 7. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. This is the only stick concealer that I have, and I actually like it just as well as any of the liquid ones I have. This is the NARS, and I got this in the Sephora mini section, which is good because it's more pricey, and I wouldn't want to have paid full price for this because, yeah, I don't like it any better than the cheap ones. And I guess if I had to pick one that's the best out of all of these, this Lancome one is probably the best, but still, it will eventually settle into the lines and wrinkles no matter what I do. If I set it, if I use primer, if I use setting spray, I've done it a million different ways, and it just still will settle no matter what I do. I have some other like Revlon ones and stuff, but I don't like them at all, so I'm not even going to show you. Actually, I lied about only having the one stick concealer. These are a little different though. I think these are Anastasia of Beverly Hills. And I wouldn't use these under my eyes, but what I use these for is sometimes just covering up any like dark shadowy spots I have, or like right now I burned myself with a curling iron. You guys can see that. Yeah, it's like I was 10. I burn myself with a curling iron. So those kind of things, I'll use these to cover those up sometimes. But yeah, I wouldn't put those under my eyes. All right, today we are going to use the Lancome. The trick with this, if there is one, is to use as little as humanly possible to cover up what you're trying to cover up. Honestly, sometimes I feel like my under eyes look better without makeup, but I'll use it anyway. So I just got like a teeny tiny bit on my fingers, and you want to put it on your fingers just to warm it up, because if you put it straight on your skin, sometimes it just doesn't blend. And I've got, you guys can see these dark spots right here. So I put it in the corner, a little bit right there, and then like 2 dots outside. I don't put anything there because when I come out with the sponge, it will go there. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge, which I like because it's a tiny little egg shaped thing, and it really fits in there, and it's cheap. So I got that. I think I got it at Kohl's, or you can get them anywhere that sells e.l.f. You can probably get them. So I squirted it a little bit. I also like to keep these little microfiber washcloths because sometimes you get a little bit too much water and you want to tap it off, or you can use it. I'll show you in a little bit. I use it for my brushes. So I get that and I just squish it in there and shear it out, and squish it in there and shear it out. Squish, squish, shear. And the reason why I put it out here is because I've got this like indentation right here that kind of gets a bluish color going on. You can use a peach color corrector on some of those bluish spots, but I haven't found one of those I really like. I've got the Pixie, and it's okay. So I'm going to do the side and put out there, squish it in there, and shear it out. Squish it in there, and shear it out. And just keep doing that until you feel like you have a decent application of it. At my age, I need a giant magnifying mirror to be able to see. Although, honestly, I think sometimes we get too obsessed with the magnifying mirror because nobody sees us that close up. But it feels like they're going to, and you feel like you have to look beautiful in 15 times magnification, which is probably not necessary. But you know, we are so hard on ourselves. I assume you guys are just like me, that we are all so hard on ourselves. Okay, the next thing I like to do is brows, because I know a lot of people will do brows after they do their eyeshadow, but I feel like until you have your brows right where you want them, which is like the frame, you don't know what picture is going to look good in the frame unless you know what the frame looks like. So I feel like you need to get the frame done first, and then you get a better idea of what you want to put in there. So I am using today, this is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. And this one is in the color taupe, because obviously I am light colored, but it comes in all kinds of different colors. I love the spoolie on the end of this. And I like using a pencil just because it's quicker for me. I've got a lot of different brow products, which I can show you guys in other videos, but this is just the one I'm using right now. And I do need a little bit of magnification for this one, but right now I have my camera sitting in front of my magnifying, which would probably not the best choice, but that's okay. We'll just wing it. My laundry's going, so you can hear that in the background. Besides just, you know, how our eyebrows tend to thin out and get weirder as we get older, I do have Hashimoto's disease, which is a thyroid disorder, and it causes my hair to thin out a little bit, and on my eyebrows, it tends to make them patchy. So it not only thins out, but it thins out in weird ways. So that's why I feel the need to fill in. It's not even necessarily to make them thicker, although depending on what I'm doing and where I'm going, sometimes I want a thicker brow and sometimes I don't. But even if I'm not trying to make them thicker, I still have to fill in the little patchy, I call them bald spots, which might be a little more dramatic than what they are, but they're just spots that don't quite grow in right. And I have a brow and lash enhancing serum, but honestly, I'm so inconsistent with using it that it's probably not helping. I do manage to get it on there a couple times a week, I think. But if you guys have a favorite one, I've heard they're kind of all the same, so I usually try not to invest too much money in those. But if you have a favorite one, let me know, and maybe I'll try it. Okay, so that's pretty much all I want for brows for today. I think that'll do. And let's see, I'm wearing a gray shirt. So I remember when I was younger, they would tell you, you don't match your makeup with your clothes, you match them with your coloring. So different colors look good on different people. Okay, well, that might be true. However, there's a lot of different color stories that might look good on you, and there's nothing wrong with picking the color story that looks good on you and also looks good with your clothes. I'm wearing gray, so I would probably go with the more grays and pinks and maybe even purples. Purple looks good with gray. I probably won't go with the rusts and browns and yellows because I'm not wearing anything that I think would look good with those colors. But I think today I'm going to use this City Mini palette by Maybelline. I told you guys I try to keep my costs down, and some of these palettes are really, really good. Now, especially, I like the Maybelline. Maybelline's my favorite. I have this Nudes of New York palette that is really, really good. And the Blushed Nudes palette, which has a lot of similar colors to the little mini palette I'm using today. These are both really, really good palettes. They're highly pigmented, and they're not so pigmented that they make you look like a clown on the first swipe, but they will build, and so you can get them darker if you want. I do have a couple higher end palettes, but again, in Sephora you can buy the minis. So I have these little Natasha Denona minis. I don't buy the full-size Natasha Denona palettes because they're so expensive, and if you guys are like me, you'll end up with maybe 1 to 4 out of the palette that you really, really like, and you end up just using that one until it's gone, and then you've got this whole palette that you don't use. So yeah, I don't tend to buy those big palettes in the higher end products. All right, now I've got all my brushes and I just keep them in this case. I don't keep them out on the vanity. I know a lot of people like to put the brushes out on the vanity so you can see what you have and pick from them, and that's great, except that I do have 2 cats, and sometimes they like to walk across my vanity, and I really do not want cat hair all over my brushes. So I keep them in a case in my vanity drawer, and that helps keep them clean. And I do try to clean my brushes once a week. Sometimes I don't quite get there, and I take them over to the sink and I use a really good brush wash, and I do them that way. But I also keep on my stand here, like I said, the microfiber washcloth and this Refresh Daily Clean from Sephora. So if maybe it's been a week and I haven't gotten around to washing them, or if I don't have a ton of brushes, so like these are my eyeshadow brushes and each one has their own purpose. So if I used a color last time, yesterday or whenever, that is totally different from the color I'm wearing today, and I need to get it off just in case, I'll just grab the brush that I'm about to use, and you just spray this Refresh spray on the brush, and take your little microfiber washcloth and just scrub it on there. And it works really, really well, and it dries immediately, so it's not like you have to wait a while to do it. Right. And then you have a nice, fresh, clean brush to start with. All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching part 1 of my very chatty Get Ready With Me. If you want to watch part 2, it will be listed and linked in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed it. Watch the second part for the eye makeup and to see the finished look. Please subscribe to this channel for future videos on makeup, style, and skincare for us over 50 women. Thank you.